Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone, wherever you're at in the world. Welcome to Last Raps Baseball's live commentary, the Nippon Professional Baseball League. Tonight, we are going to be bringing you the matchup between the Saitama Seibu Lions and the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks. It is going to be game one of the series on Tuesday in Japan. We're going to give you the starting lineups for the two ball clubs, and we'll take a mini timeout, and we'll get ready to give you all the action in just a few minutes. Starting off with the visitors from Saitama, it'll be leading off in left field, number 7, Masayuki Kuwahara. Batting second, shortstop is number 6, Sosuke Genda. Hitting third in center field is number 68, Junichiro Kishi. In the cleanup spot and doing the designated hitting is number 55, Ryuta Nakami. Hitting fifth at third base is number 8, Seiya Watanabe. Hitting in the sixth spot at second base is number 5, Shuta Tonosaki. Batting in the seventh spot and in right field is number 25, Alexander Canario. And batting eighth and doing the catching is number 22, Yuta Koga. And batting ninth at first base is number 39, Taiga Hirasawa. And they're going to be facing Tomohisa Ozeki, who takes to the hill. He has a victory in his only start this year. He's worked 6 innings, allowing 6 hits, 1 run. It was earned, walking 3 and striking out 4. That's your starting lineup for the visitors from Saitama. And now your starting lineup for the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks. Leading off in center field tonight, wearing number 23 is Yukio Shudo. Batting second in left field is number 3, Kensuke Kondo. Hitting third at third base is number 24, Ryoya Kurihara. Batting in the cleanup spot is the DH, number 9, Yuki Yanagita. Batting fifth at first base is number 5, Hotaka Yamakawa. Batting sixth at second base is number 6, Kenta Imamiya. Hitting seventh in right field is number 8, Taisi Makihara. Batting eighth and doing the catching is number 62, that's Takeshi Umino. And batting ninth and playing shortstop is number 99, is Sami Nomura. And they're going to be facing Chihiro Samita, who takes to the hill. He has a no decision this year. He worked 5 innings, allowing 8 hits, 3 runs, all earned, walking 1 and striking out 4 in his season debut. Those are your starting lineups. We'll be back in just a few with all the action. Thanks for stopping in on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Our friend Samurai Prayer is in the house, so we're glad you are here. We'll find out who else will be joining us in just a little bit. Stay with us, everybody. First pitch is just around the corner. Welcome back, everybody. Tomohisa Ozeki is taking to the hill to begin his tune-up tosses, and we are going to get this one going for you here in just a couple moments as the lefty is just finishing up. And we'll be back in just a couple moments. Our friend Samurai Person. It's been a while. Yeah, it has been, as you can tell by my voice. We've been struggling a little bit under the weather, but we'll be back with all the action in just a couple of moments after this musical timeout. People travel for thousands of miles to go enjoy the cherry blossoms. We got them right here, and unfortunately, it is allergy time of the year, and that is what has beaten me up for the last week or so. And we are back on the airwaves here tonight. It's been about 5 or 6 days, but I'll tell you, it has been a punch in the gut with the allergies. That is for certain. Well, it is to lead it off here tonight. Masayuki Kuwahara, he'll come to bat here first. 9 for 33 to begin his Lions career. He's got a homer and a couple RBIs. And the first pitch of the ball game is a fastball taken for a called strike. And the count is 0-1. We are underway at 6:01 local time. The Chave is in the house. I appreciate you for being here. He says, gotta love Sakura season. Absolutely. As the lefty kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball that misses down and in. The count goes even to 1-1 on Kuwahara. Glad you guys could be here. Our friend Samurai Purr says the Swallows are off to a good start in first place. And you know what they say, a win in April is like 2 in September. And that is good for the Swallows. There's a fastball swung on. It's lined to right field. It's going to get down for a base hit as it lands in front of the right fielder, Taisi Makihara. So Kuwahara aboard with a leadoff single here to start the first inning, and that'll bring up the shortstop in Sosuke Genda. Well, for Genda, 6 for 23 to start his season. No homers and 3 RBIs. But that's why we play 143 games. Nobody expected the Swallows to be in the top spot. Nobody expected the Fighters to stumble out of the gate, but they are getting themselves back on track. So here comes the first pitch to Genda, lefty matchup here. As they throw over to first base, and getting back easily is the runner. Try to call a couple more games this week. We'll try to do some late evening affairs. And of course, it will be not just weather dependent, as Genda squares to bunt. He gets it down. It's a good one. Kurihara fields it. He fires to first. And that is going to retire Genda on a sacrifice. It goes 5-3 in the books. He's gone for out number 1. Kurihara makes it over to second, and that'll bring up the center fielder in Junichiro Kishi. So Kishi coming to the plate here, as he is 1 for 4 in the early going. He's got no homers and 1 RBI. Our friend Samurai Purr says our fellow Canadian is in the spacecraft right now. They just made the new record. Yeah, they went around the moon. Went around the dark side of the moon. Nobody has gone further than before. As the left-hander kicks and delivers, it is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Outer space, the last frontier. Curious to see how far we will go. Are we going to put somebody on Mars? And to think about it, there's a lot of people walking our streets that I think have been from outer space. So we might as well go and see where we can find more of them. Here comes a breaking ball. It misses down, and the count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Also going to try to do the Blue Jay Dodger game on Wednesday. Shohei Ohtani will take to the hill for the Dodgers. That's all you need to know. I don't know who the Blue Jays will counter with, so not really sure there. I see the Blue Jays had put Alejandro Kirk, their catcher, on the injured list. He had a fractured hand. He's going to miss some time. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball swung on and lifted foul into the seats over on the first base side. The count goes to 1-2 on Junichiro Kishi. I think I might have misquoted everybody on the first pitch of the ball game. It is a 2:01 local time, or 14:01 on the military clock in Fukuoka. Early start to this ball game. All the other games go off later this evening. As the 1-2 pitch is ready to come here to the right-handed hitting Kishi. Zeki kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on and it's lifted foul into the seats over on the first base side. Count remains at 1-2. The Chave says, hopefully somebody hits a home run tonight in honor of Jeremy. Yeah, it is definitely the case. They have a variety of people on that craft. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. On the way, breaking ball swung on, chopped softly over to third. Kurihara fields it. He checks the runner back to second. He fires to first. And Kishi's out on a ground out 5-3. The runner at second, Kurihara, did not advance. He's gone for out number 2, and it's going to bring Yuta Nakami to the plate. The Chave says, an interplanetary battle, Earth versus Mars. Well, ground out 5-3 for the second out. That is going to bring Yuta Nakami to the plate. He's 0 for 5. Batting from the left side here against the left-handed throwing Ozeki. Battle of 2 lefties here tonight. So Ozeki holds to the set. Now he kicks and delivers. Breaking ball swung on and lifted foul into the seats, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and a strike to Nakami. Glad you guys could pop in here. Some early baseball tonight on the NPB slate. As mentioned, we're going to try to squeeze in a couple of more here over the next couple of nights. I don't think we're going to be able to do the weekend games, but never know. Squeeze 1 or 2 in. As the lefty Ozeki holds to the set position, here comes the 0-1 offering. Kicks and fires fastball. I'll take it for a called strike. The count is now 0-2. Defensively tonight for the Hawks, from left to right field, it is Kondo in left. The center fielder is Shudo, in right Makihara. Around the horn from first to third, Yamakawa is at first. At second, it's Imamiya, the shortstop Nomura, and third base is Kurihara with the battery of Ozeki and Umino. Here comes the 0-2 pitch as the lefty holds set. Now he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball at the knees. Take it for a called third strike. Oh, Nakami stood there like the house by the side of the road. He watched it go by for out number 3. That's going to do it here for the Lions in their half of the first. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left the board. We are through a half inning. It is the Lions, nothing, and the Hawks coming to bat. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Glad you guys could make it in with us tonight. It is Baseball on the Net with Last Raps Baseball. We'll be right back in just a bit. Welcome back, everybody. Chihiro Samita is just completing his tune-up tosses, and we are about ready to resume the action. It'll be Yukio Shudo, Kensuke Kondo, and Ryoya Kurihara to come to bat to face him here. We always get asked this throughout the game, where are you watching? And so for those of you who are listening here, here's your Easter egg. It is 15 minutes in, so we'll just point people back to this time rather than repeating it again. The television broadcast tonight, TV Nishin Nippon, and that is Station 1, Tokyo MX1, and Sports Live Plus. If you're watching on TV, DAZN, Rakuten TV, and Baseball Live are streaming on the web, but you got to have a VPN. There's the first pitch fastball. I'll take it for a called strike. The count is 0-1 to Yukio Shudo. Shudo batting from the left side here as the pitch is on the way. It's a breaking ball missing down and away, and the count goes to 1-1. Shudo 5 for 33 to start the year off to a bit of a lethargic start. No homers and a couple RBIs. As the lefty Samita kicks and delivers, there's a fastball swung on it. Is chopped softly over to the right side, fielded on the run. And a nice play there by the second baseman Shuda Tonosaki as he's able to retire Shudo on a ground out 5-3 for out number 1. And that'll bring up the left fielder in Kensuke Kondo. If you're brave enough to listen on the radio, it's KBC Radio and RKB Radio. That is where you can find the games near you. So this brings up Kondo to the plate. Kondo off to a decent start. He is 10 for 34, a couple homers and 7 runs batted in. First pitch on the way, fastball that backs him off the plate. The count is quickly 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Left-hander against the left-hander. Samita rocks, got a big leg kick and delivers. There's a fastball that misses inside. The count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Our friend Samurai Prayer said that the Blue Jays have had a tough time. Yeah, the start to the season has not exactly been the way they have scripted it, as that fastball is taken for a called strike. Count is 2-1. And, you think of some of the teams that they played, the White Sox, the Rockies, those are the teams that you've got to be able to take care of as quickly as possible. 2-1 on the way. Fastball misses upstairs, is now 3-1. Our friend God is Great is in the house. Konnichiwa, our friend Ken Titus. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. On the way, fastball moves inside, and it's going to back Kondo off the plate. That's going to be ball 4 as he's going to make his way down to first base. So Kondo over to first. That'll bring up the third baseman, Ryoya Kurihara. Well, for Kurihara, he enters the game tonight 11 for 32. He's got 2 homers and 6 runs batted in. Yeah, Macau getting the oven mitts on over at first base. Kondo getting the oven mitts on over at first base. Kurihara in at the box, batting left-handed. First pitch fastball swung on and lifted foul on the third base side of home plate, and the count is quickly 0-1. Our friend God is Great says it's freezing and raining there, but he's watching the game anyway. Nothing like a warming up to the ball game and listening in here for all the action. So 1 no balls and 1 strike it is to Kurihara. Lefty Samita delivers again. Fastball swung on. This one's lifted down the left field line, but it's going to drift off into the seats. The count is now no balls and 2 strikes. So 0-2 to Kurihara. As we mentioned, the next couple of nights, we're going to try to do some of the late night games. We'll put up our schedule a little bit later tomorrow. I was in Seattle last week and then ended up getting a little bit of that, as I said, either combination of an allergy or a sinus infection. One or the other was on the docket. There was a fastball swung on and missed, and Kurihara has been made quick work of. He's gone for the second out of the inning. He's going to leave it all up to the designated hitter in Yuki Yanagita. So we were looking at doing a couple of more games on the weekend, and we ended up tapping out. Didn't post anything. We were just sort of a game time decision. But next couple of nights in the middle of the night, or at least tomorrow night anyway, and then try to be able to do maybe the Blue Jays on Thursday against the Dodgers. That's with Shohei pitching. I think that's Thursday, or is it possibly Wednesday? Fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1 to Yanagita. Yanagita 9 for 33 on the season, homer and 4 RBIs. As the lefty Samita kicks and fires, there's a fastball at just below the knees. Taken for a ball, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Shave says, good call for the upcoming schedule. Yeah, I'd like to really watch that one. Breaking ball just misses outside. The count now goes to 2-1 on Yanagita. And then, unfortunately, on the weekend, I will be out of town. So I won't be doing anything on the Saturday or Sunday Japanese game. So we'll try to squeeze in some midweek and then get back to the action next week and into a regular rhythm. There's a fastball swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 2-2 on Yanagita. God is Great said it's the worst allergic season ever for him over there. I never had allergies when I lived back east, but the physician I said that you really only checked for the area in which you live. And so if I got checked here, we'd be in some trouble. Fastball misses down, and the count now goes full to Yuki Yanagita. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. The runner Kondo will be on the move with the pitch. As Adam Marseille, I think I said it right, is in the house. We're glad you're here again. 3-2 on the way. Breaking ball swung on, lifted into shallow right field. Moving back is Tonosaki. Underneath it, he's going to make the catch, and that is going to do it, as he's going to be gone for out number 3. Well, no runs in the inning, no hits, no errors, but there was a runner left aboard. We're through 1 complete inning. It is the Hawks and the Lions locked up at 0s. We'll be back in just a few. Our friend Adam says, how many? You got to listen in and hang in here with us. And we will give you all that information as we move along. Let us take you away with all the action here tonight. We'll be right back in just a bit. Hang tight, everybody.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. Our friend Lions C7X says he thinks that Seibu's got a chance today. As long as Samita's on the mound, they always have a chance. But it's the rest of the ball club that might have something to say in this as well. It is going to be Watanabe, Tonosaki, and Canario to come to bat here to face Ozeki in the second inning. Watanabe off to a decent start. Batting .265 in the early going with a homer and a couple RBIs. Played a lot in left field last year, and he is making a seamless transition over into third base, as the pitch is on the way. It's a breaking ball that misses up and away, and the count is quickly 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. 9 for 34 he is. As the lefty delivers, there's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-0. Interesting that God is Great says that Seibu might have problems owning the team as they are going bankrupt and closing the stores. Fastball taken for a called strike. Count is 2-1. I haven't really followed it that closely. I know they also have a number of rail lines. So I wonder what they will potentially try to eliminate from their portfolio. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count goes to 2-2 on Watanabe. God is Great said they've already closed their biggest store in Shibuya. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Fastball swung on, grounded softly up the middle, fielded by Imamiya. Throws to first, and that is going to retire Watanabe on a ground out 4-3. He's in the books for the first out of the inning, and that'll bring up the second baseman in Shuta Tonosaki. Almost seems like there's cycles in Japan. I mean, obviously, what was it? Hankyu was the longtime sponsor for the Braves. Of course, they have a series of stores all over the place. As the lefty kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball. Is it the Braves or the Buffaloes? I can't remember. There's a fastball that was swung on and lifted foul down the left field line. Count is 0-1 to Tonosaki. Our friend the Chave says, hearing of the rail line connection reminded me of a video watched earlier, the death of the Hankyu Braves. Here's the 0-1 pitch, slow breaking ball, taken for a called strike. Yeah, if you ever get to a game in Tokorozawa, the rail, the Seibu line takes you right to the stadium. I don't know about last year, or I didn't go last year. A couple of years ago, they have an old or a rail car. You can, right on the site, you can go and do a little walkthrough. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Fastball swung on and lifted, foul. Count remains at 0-2. Much like the Hanshin Tigers, and the rail is involved in their ownership, sponsorship. So no balls and 2 strikes it is. Waiting his turn on deck is Alexander Canario. Pitch on the way. Fastball lifted, foul. Whew. Whew. No balls and 2 strikes it is to Tonosaki. The good news is the congestion that I have is breaking up. But I do, every once in a while, you might hear it sound like it goes dark. I got to hit the hot button to get a couple of those sneezes out of the way. There's a fastball swung on it, just taken on one hop up the middle by the shortstop, Nomura. He throws, it's in the dirt, and it gets away from Yamakawa, but not able to advance. Or is he? Did that ball actually deflect into the seats or not? It looked like it had come back on the field. It's going to be, regardless, an error charged to the shortstop. It should have been the second out of the inning. Let's go in the books as E6. Yep, short hopped it. I don't think it ended up getting into the stands. Or did it? Yeah, it did. It got into the camera well. So that's going to put the runner, Tonosaki, over to second base. Bring up Alexander Canario. So Jerry comes in. Jerry, you're going to have to go back to the 15-minute mark because we gave all that information that you're asking right there. Other than the strikeouts, you'll just have to wait on that. But if you want the information of where you can watch and listen, 15-minute mark, and we start talking about it there. First pitch, breaking ball, taken for a called strike. The count is quickly 0-1. No balls and 1 strike to Canario. Canario on the season hitting .222. He is 6 for 27, no homers and 2 RBIs. The lefty Ozeki works himself to the belt, and here comes the 0-1 offering. Pitch is on the way. It's a breaking ball swung on, popped up just behind second base. Moving over underneath it is Imamiya. He's calling everybody off, and he makes the catch. And that's going to retire Canario for the second out of the inning. So 2 gone here, and that is to leave it all up to the catcher in Yuta Koga. So for Koga, he comes to the plate. He's 2 for 6 on the season, getting the start tonight behind the dish. Left-hander against the right-hander. Ozeki leaning in, getting the sign. And now he kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that misses down and in. The count is quickly 1-0 to Koga. So 1 ball and no strikes. Our friend God is Great says, also like Ikebukuro, they closed. It's unfortunate. So it looks like there's going to be some tough times ahead for a lot of businesses, a lot of people. So 1 ball and no strikes as the lefty kicks and fires. There's a fastball that catches the outside corner. Count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Obviously, you hope that's not the case, but it does look like it is trending in that direction. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is. Runner at second, Tonosaki got there on the error by the shortstop Nomura. As the lefty Ozeki delivers, breaking ball misses down and in, and the count runs now to 2-1. God is great. Our friend Neil Valentine is asking your question, and that would be about the Iki Bukuro. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. As it's on its way, fastball swung on. This ball is lined into right field, and it's going to get down for a base hit. It's going to drop in front of Makihara, but that's going to be good enough to cash in the first run of the game. As around to score is Tonosaki, an RBI single off the bat of Koga, and the Lions have drawn first blood here. And that is going to bring up the 9-hole hitter in Taiga Hirasawa. So 1 run sometimes for the Lions with Samita on the mound could be all they need. So the Lions cash in here first. The Chief says one of the other fairly well-known Seibu stars. Well, Hirasawa stepping to the plate, having a tough start to the season, 1 for 17. First pitch on the way, breaking ball, take it for a called strike. The count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. 28-year-old batting from the left side. And he started at first base tonight for the Lions. As the lefty Ozeki holds set. It kicks and delivers. There's a fastball missing down and away, and the count now goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. I'm a little undecided on who we would call tomorrow. I'd like to see the pitching matchups. There's a fastball swung on. This is lined into right field. It's going to get down for a base hit. Makihara charging hard. He comes up throwing to third. It's cut off. Stopping at second will be Koga, as the catcher does not particularly run the best. But that's a single here for Hirasawa. That's going to put runners at first and second with 2 gone. And it's going to bring the top of the order, Masayuki Kuwahara, to the plate. Well, for Kuwahara, he opened up the ball game tonight with a base hit in the first inning. He is 1 for 1. It is going to bring the pitching coach out to the mound, though, first to have a word with his starter Ozeki. So 2 aboard with 2 gone. Already 1 across the board here for the Lions in their half of inning number 2. And really, it's the error by the shortstop Nomura that looms large. If he would have made that play, they would have been out of the inning on 3 quick outs. But it has been back-to-back singles here by Koga and Hirasawa that have punched in the first run. And the Lions are looking for more. So the left-hander Ozeki ready to go back to work as the first pitch on the way here to Kuwahara. It's a fastball swung on. It is lifted into right field. Underneath it is Makihara. He's there to make the catch, and that is going to do it. And that will do it here for the Lions in their half of the second inning. Well, they draw first blood. They got 1 run in the inning on the benefit of 2 hits. There was 1 error, and there were 2 runners left aboard. Your score as we move to the bottom of the second inning, it is the Lions with a 1-0 lead over the Hawks. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a little bit with all the action right after this.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball.
Welcome back, everybody. It is the Lions with a early 1-0 lead, courtesy of a RBI single off the bat of Yuta Koga. And coming to bat here for the Hawks in their half of the second inning, it'll be Yamakawa, Imamiya, and Makihara. So bottom of the second inning upon us. For those of you who have just joined us here this evening, appreciate you guys for jumping in on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We like to call the NPB games. And as I said, unfortunately, tonight, a little bit of a raspy voice for this one. But that we're going to grind through it and do the best we can to keep you guys entertained. Here comes the first offering from Sumida as Yamakawa waits. Fastball swung on. This ball's hammered down the left field line. If it stays fair, it's going to be trouble. And it's gone. A home run. That got out in a big-time hurry. It was a laser beam right down the left field line. With one swing of the bat, we are right away tied up at one apiece. As Yamakawa has just delivered his fourth home run of the season. And the Hawks answer right back. It took an error and a couple of singles to cash in the run for the Lions. The Hawks flex their muscle straight away off the bat of Hotaka Yamakawa. Well, that is going to bring up the second baseman in Kenta Imamiya. Imamiya getting the nod at second base here tonight. As the lefty Sumida delivers a first pitch fastball that just misses up, and the count is quickly 1-0. Imamiya 7 for 23 to start the young season. No homers and 5 runs batted in. As the lefty kicks and fires, there's a fastball at the knees for a called strike. Count runs even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Lefty Sumida delivers again. Breaking ball swung on. This is going to be lined softly into left field. Imamiya aboard with a single, and that's going to bring up the right fielder in Taisi Makihara. Well, for Makihara, off to a pretty good start, 10 for 33, no homers and a couple RBIs. You're talking about some of the previous games that we did with the Hawks. Makihara batting in the 9-hole. Of course, he was the Pacific League batting champion last year, 33-year-old. Batting .303 on the season here. And from the left side against Sumida, pitch on the way. Fastball taken for a called strike. Count is 0-1, so no balls and a strike. Makihara taps both sides of the plate, digs himself back in as the lefty nods in agreement with his catcher, Koga. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball swung on, grounded softly to third. They go to second for 1, back to first. It's not going to be in time. It's going to be a fielder's choice. It'll be 5-4 to erase Imamiya at second. He's gone for the first out of the inning. Safe at first is Makihara. That's going to bring up the catcher in Takeshi Umino. Well, for Umino, he got off to a very hot start. And then he cooled off a little bit. He is now 6 for 24 at the plate. Does have a homer and 3 RBIs. So coming back to a more human-like 250 batting average as the pitch is on the way. Fastball swung on, chopped up the middle. Grounded by Tonosaki. They go to second for 1. Back to first. That's going to be an inning-ending double play. Or is it? Yeah, that is. It's going to go in the books as a 4-6-3 variety. And that is going to do it here for the Hawks in their half of the inning, but they even the score. A solo shot off the bat of Hotaka Yamakawa. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left. We are 2 complete in the books. Your score is the Lions 1 and the Hawks 1. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back at the call of the top of the third inning when we return after this musical timeout. back, everybody. Little Mac in the house. Glad you could make it in. It is going to be the 2, 3, and 4 hitters to come to bat for the Lions in this one. That means Genda, Kishi, and Nakami to face the left-hander Ozeki, who is on for his third inning of work. So Ozeki, who has completed his tune-up tosses, goes to the rosin bag as Genda steps in. Genda, no official at bat tonight. He had a sacrifice bunt his first time up. 6 for 23 on the season as the lefty delivers. Fastball catches the inside corner, and the count is 0-1 to Genda. Genda, the shortstop for the Samurai Japan, the national team. In the back end of his career, I can't see him making another appearance. Fastball swung on and lifted foul into the seats over on the third base side. The count now goes to 0-2. He says it's Mick. His old tag somehow switched back. Mick, great to have you in here with us tonight. As always, Colorado Mick as the pitch on the way 0-2. It is a breaking ball swung on and loop foul over on the third base side, and the count remains at 0 balls and 2 strikes. Great to have a lot of the old faces back in. And we were just saying earlier, Mick will probably be on late tomorrow as well. Either tomorrow or the day after, because I'm going to try to do that game with Otane and the Blue Jays. As that breaking ball misses outside, it's now 1-2 to Genda. So glad you guys could hang around with us. Zeki rocking slowly into the windup. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Kicks and delivers. Fastball swung on, chop foul just past the first base coach's box. And the count remains at 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Zeki again getting the sign from his catcher. He rocks slowly into the windup as the 1-2 is on the way. It's a breaking ball swung on, grounded up the middle, fielded neatly by Narama. He fires to first, and that is going to retire Genda on a ground out 6-3. He's in the books for out number 1. That is going to bring up Junichiro Kishi. I have to tell you, that's, probably Hawks at 1.5 is not the worst thing. I don't know if this is the strongest Lions lineup that I think they could put forward. In fact, a couple of the guys in the lineup raised my eyebrows tonight. So here's the pitch from Ozeki. Slow breaking ball, catching the outside corner. Count is 0-1. So 0 balls and 1 strike. Lefty kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that's down, but the home plate umpire goes up with the right hand because he says that Kishi went around, so 0 balls and 2 strikes it is. Lefty again rocks into the windup and delivers. Breaking ball swung on. This is lifted into shallow left center field. Coming hard is Yukio Shudo, and he's going to make the catch. That is going to retire Kishi for the second out of the inning. So 2 outs here. It's going to leave it all up to Yuna Nakami. So Nakami 0 for 1 tonight, struck out looking his first time up against the starter Ozeki. Kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on and fouled off right into the midsection of the catcher Umino, and the count is quickly 0-1. Mick says the odds are plus 100, means the odds are so sharp, means their pitcher is not so strong. There's a breaking ball that just misses, and the count now goes even to 1-1. I would think Samita is the far better of the 2 pitchers. Of course, Samita's a national team pitcher. Ozeki is the back arms of the Hawk staff. 1-1 on the way. There's a breaking ball waved at and missed. The count now goes to 1-2. But Ozeki is very productive, that is for certain, but he's not in the class of Siu or Uesawa, I would say. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball swung on and chopped foul, just past the bag at first base, and the count remains at 1-2 to Nakami. But anytime we get an opportunity for an early NPB game, we're all over it where we can. Of course, this is a early start by Japanese standards. 1-2 pitch on the way. Fastball swung on and missed, and that is going to do it. Nakami down on strikes for the second time tonight. He's out for out number 3. Now the Lions go quietly in their half of the third. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. We're moving to the bottom of the third inning. It is the Lions 1, the Hawks 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Appreciate you for hanging in here with us tonight. It is Lions Hawks when we return after this.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole.
Welcome back, everybody. That is our good friend Matt Hollis. Be sure to go check him out after the game. He'll keep you entertained with all kinds of weird and crazy things on his channel. That is another Hollis build. Well, we're back to the live action. It's the 9-1 and 2 hitters to face Sumida here. And the first pitch is a breaking ball that catches the inside corner for called strike. Count is 0-1. Nomura, 4 for 18 to begin the year. No homers and no runs batted in. Sumida delivers a breaking ball swung on. It's grounded over to third. Oh, that's a nice play by Watanabe, moving to his glove side. Fields it and fires to first, and Nomura's in the books on the ground out 5-3. So 1 up and 1 away. It'll bring up the top of the order in Yukio Shudo. Something I learned the other day when I was sitting at the game and listening to, I was sitting with our friend of our channel with Eric Fox. We were watching the Yankees and the Mariners, and he said that when he played with Oakland on getaway days, if you took a first pitch strike, you got fined. Fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. I thought that was kind of interesting on the getaway games that you have to go up swinging if a pitch is considered a strike. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes to 1-1. I don't know what the value of the fine would be, but he said the players in his day would be fined if they didn't swing at the first pitch that was a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Fastball swung on and slicing down the left field line, and it's just going to slice into the seats foul. It's going to run the count to 1-2. Our friend Lion C7X says he feels like Lions are cooking something up if they keep the score at 1 through 5. I guess we're going to have to wait and see. Certainly, I like the edge of the pitching, but I don't know if I really like their lineup here tonight. But that's why we play the game, so we'll have to wait and see. 1-2 pitch on the way to Shudo is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. For those of you who have jumped into the channel tonight, Thanks for popping in. There's a fastball swung on, grounded up the middle, fielded by the shortstop Genda. He throws to first. It's not going to be in time. Shudo sliding in safely at first, head first. Throw by Genda. Genda really had to move to the second base side of second base, or I say the right field side of second base, to be able to field that ground ball. It was somehow got through Sumida. That was a good pick over there by Hirasawa, but not in time to get the speedy Shudo. That'll be an infield single. That is going to bring up the left fielder in Kensuke Kondo. Well, for Kondo, he is officially does not have an at-bat tonight. He walked his first time up. So Sumida working from the left side here. Here comes the pitch. Breaking ball, take it for a called strike. The count so on one. Our friend CV in the house tonight. Welcome you to the stream. Ten for 34 on the year is Kondo, hitting a cool 294. Lefty kicks and delivers. Slow breaking ball, catches the inside corner. I don't think Kondo liked that one. Body language says that pitch was inside. So no balls and 2 strikes. It is to the big fella. Shudo establishing his lead over at first base. He's got 1 foot on the turf and 1 on the dirt, and now he steps off the back side does Sumida, and he feigns a throw over. Mick says we're all popping out tonight. Yeah. Got a full house here tonight. There was a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count goes to 1-2 on Kondo. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. I would say this, that under 6.5 runs is the question. Ozaki's got to keep him in check through 6. Sumida's got to give him at least 7, and then you got a chance. Here's the 1-2. And instead he throws over to first base, and getting back easily is the runner, Yukio Shudo. But it's a little early, and we're not really sure. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But as I said, I do like Sumida on the hill. It's the offense behind him that I'm not sure I'm a fan of. Here's the 1-2 pitch. On its way. Breaking ball swung on. This ball's driven into deep right center field. Could be trouble. That 6.5 could be in trouble too as that ball's gone. It's a 2-run shot off the bat of Kensuke Kondo. It's going to bring home Shudo in front of him. That's the second gopher ball served up tonight by Sumida. As both runners come across the plate, it is now a 3-1 Hawk lead. That is going to bring up the third baseman, Ryoya Kurihara. And our friend Ant says, do these guys have good bats? Well, the Hawks sure do. They've got a lot of depth in their batting order. And it is on display here early tonight. Yamakawa with his 4th of the year, and Kondo now hitting his 3rd of the year. As it is a 3-1 lead now for the Hawks. So this brings Ryoya Kurihara to the plate, and the first pitch to Kurihara is a fastball that misses down and in, and the count is 1-0. Kurihara 0 for 1 tonight, struck out his only trip to the plate. 11 for 33 to start the year. There's a fastball swung on and lifted foul down the left field line. The count now goes even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Lefty Kurihara waits. Here's the pitch. Slow breaking ball drops in for a called strike, and the count now goes to 1-2. Kurihara off to a good start this year for the Fukuoka Ball Club, but he looks confused right now in this plate appearance. Here's the pitch. Fastball just misses outside, and the count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Lefty again kicks and fires. There's a breaking ball swung on it, is lifted into shallow left field, coming hard. And making the catch on the run is the left fielder Kuwahara. Kuwahara is going to retire Kurihara. So he is going to be gone for the second out of the inning. It's going to leave it all up to the designated hitter in Yuki Yanagita. Our friend Wolverine says, thanks for broadcasting the game. Thank you for showing up to listen. We appreciate you for being here. As Yanagita steps in, the first pitch on the way is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. Yanagita 0 for 1 tonight. He flew out to right field his first time up. 9 for 34 on the season, hitting .265. Breaking ball missing upstairs. The count now goes to 2-0. Ant says you just put 200 on the under, and they had a 2-run shot. Yeah, there you go. There's a fastball swung on. It's driven into deep center field, but not deep enough. Moving over underneath it and making the catch is the center fielder Kishi. And Yanagita is going to be gone for the third out of the inning. Well, they get a couple of runs in the inning on the 2-run homer off the bat of Kensuke Kondo. 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. If you score through 3, it is 3-1 for the Hawks. We'll be back in just a few. Everybody, appreciate you for being here with us. Time to get another drink and a hit of vitamin C. We return after this. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the top half of inning number 4. It'll be Watanabe, Tonosaki, and Canario. Our friend Ant asks a question, how do you watch the games? Ant, we give it once per night. You've already missed it, but as a tip to you, if you go back to the 15-minute mark of this stream, and we talk about it for about 2 minutes or so, and you can get all that information right there if you go back to minute 15 on the stream. This is going to bring up Seiya Watanabe, Shuta Tonosaki, and Alexander Canario to face Ozeki here. And the first pitch is a breaking ball swung on and lifted, foul down the right field line, and the count now quickly 0-1 to Watanabe. Watanabe 0 for 1 tonight. He grounded out to second his first time up. Batting from the right side, his average is dipped down to 257. As Ozeki rocks and delivers. There's a fastball that's taken at ease for a called strike. That pitch looked a little bit low. So no balls and 2 strikes it is. Our friend 100 Legends Away asked the same question. There's a fastball that swung on. This is lifted into deep left center field. It's getting off the wall. Shuta fields it with his bare hand. He fires it in. And that is going to allow Watanabe to slide in safely with a double into second base. So he is aboard. And that is going to bring Shuta Tonosaki to the dish with the runner in scoring position. So I'll answer the same question. If you go back to minute 15 of this video, we explain where you can watch the games on TV and where you can stream the games. I can't go into your computer and type it in for you. You just have to go and listen, and then you can figure it out from there. There's multiple ways you can do both. So that brings Shuta Tonosaki to the plate. Tonosaki has scored the only run so far for the Lions. He reached on an error by the shortstop Nomura, and later came around to score on a RBI single off the bat of Koga. First pitch, fastball misses inside, and the count is quickly 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. We usually do it once a game, and then anybody else who comes in, you can go back and we'll direct you to it. We just don't want to keep repeating it. Other people here are here to listen to the game, want the game. 1-0 pitch on the way. Fastball misses outside. It's now 2-0 to Tonosaki. Tonosaki off to a rough start, 4 for 22 on the year. Getting below the Mendoza line as the 2-0 pitch is ready to come. So Zeki kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that misses down. It's now 3-0. So 3 balls and no strikes. Yeah, to ask the question, is the same league Murakami played in? Yep, he played for the, well, actually, no. He played in the NPB, but he played in the Central League for the Occult Swallows. As the lefty delivers, there's a fastball swung on. This is belted into deep left center field. This ball could be trouble. Looking up, and it is gone. A home run, a 2-run shot off the bat as Shuta Tonosaki has evened the score at 3 apiece, as it is going to cash in Watanabe in front of him. Tonosaki in to score the 3rd run here, so that is going to even the score at 3-3, and that is going to bring up Alexander Canario to the plate. So high fives all the way around for Tonosaki. We're all back to square, and our friend the Chief says, RIP to everybody betting the under. Well, the only thing that could happen now is if the game ends in a tie after 12 innings. As the lefty delivers, Ozeki throws a fastball, swung on, grounded over to third. Kurihara fields it, and he's going to nail Canario. Ground out 5-3. He's out for the first out of the inning. It's going to bring up the catcher in Yuta Koga. Well, it's a Tuesday evening or Tuesday afternoon slugfest. This game is turned on a dime. So Ozeki slowly working into the windup and delivers. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to Koga. Toxic says, glad he just bet the 3rd inning results and they just came back. Here's the 1-0 pitch. It's a fastball swung on, chopped over the head of the pitcher, Ozeki. Nomura fields it on the run. He fires to first. That's going to retire Koga on a ground out 6-3. So 2 in the books. It's going to leave it all up to the first baseman in Taiga Hirasawa. All for Hirasawa. He is 1 for 1 in tonight's game. He broke that 1 for 17 slump. So he is standing in against the lefty Ozeki, who kicks and delivers. There's a fastball at the knees, taken for a called strike. Count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Pitch on the way, fastball that just misses outside. Count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, the lefty Ozeki kicks and delivers. Breaking ball misses down and in, and the count goes to 2-1. So I've got to go back and take a look at the numbers on Hirasawa, because I do believe the numbers that he has might have been from last season. There's a fastball that misses just outside, and the count now goes to 3-1. Taiga Hirasawa was actually, that was his 2025 numbers. He was 1 for 17. It's the first hit of the year for him. So now he is 1 for 1 on the year. Fastball at the knees, taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Lefty ready to go again. He rocks himself into the windup and he kicks and fires. There's a breaking ball swung on and tap foul over on the first base side. The count remains at 3-2 to Hirasawa. Nice evening for some baseball here on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Fastball swung on and grounded slowly up the middle into center field. And Hirasawa has doubled his hit total from 2025. He has his second hit of the evening. He is 2 for 2 here against Ozeki. It's going to bring up the top of the order and Masayuki Kuwahara. Well, for Kuwahara tonight, he is 1 for 2. He's got a single and 2 trips. He's also flown out to right field as they flip the batting order over to the Lions. 3-3 is your score line. They've already scored a pair here in the inning. And they throw over to first. They got the runner picked off, and that is going to do it. It's going to be a pickoff of 1 to 3 to 6. And that is going to get Hirasawa for the third out of the inning. Well, 2 runs in the inning on the 2-run homer by Shuta Tonosaki, 2 hits. Check that, 3 hits. No errors and nobody left the board. Your scores were now moved to the bottom of the 4th inning. It is the Lions 3 and the Hawks 3. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call in just a bit. Man, we're hoping this is going to be a night we can hang in here with you. The voice is a fading quick. We'll be right back in just a few.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be Hotaki Yamakawa, Kenta Imamiya, and Taisi Makihara to come to bat here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Sumida rocks and delivers a fastball that just misses inside, and the count is 1-0 to Yamakawa. 43 pitches here for the left-hander through his first 3 innings of work. As the lefty delivers slow breaking ball swung, and this is belted into left field. But over to make the catch is Kuwahara. That is going to retire Yamakawa for the first out of the inning. So 2 pitches and 1 away here. Brings up the second baseman in Kenta Imamiya. Sometimes it can be on, depending upon where you're at. But that is a whole other deal here. The first pitch breaking ball misses down. The count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. There's a fastball swung on it. It's going to be lifted foul into the seats over on the first base side. The count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. "12 innings, anything past is a tie." There is no extra innings after 12 in the regular season as that breaking ball misses down and the count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Imamiya. Lefty Samita rocks and delivers. Fastball swung on it is popped up over on the first base side in foul territory. It's playable. Underneath it is Hirasawa. He's there to make the catch. And that is going to retire Imamiya for the second out of the inning. He's gone for out number 2, and that'll bring up the right fielder in Taisi Makihara. Well, for Makihara tonight, he bounced into a fielder's choice and then was later erased in a double play. So officially 0 for 1 in this one. As the pitch on the way is a breaking ball taken for a called strike. Yeah, so the under 6.5 needs 8 scoreless innings. And I don't think I would be, the odds on that happening are probably quite low at this point. Breaking ball misses inside and the count is 1-1. Quite low because of the Lions bullpen. As the pitch is on the way, the 1-1, there's a breaking ball swung on and fouled off of Makihara, and the count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Makihara taps both sides of the plate, and he waits here on the offering from the left-hander. Samita gets the sign from his trusty catcher, Koga. Here comes the 1-2. Breaking ball swung on and missed, and they're going to have to throw to first base. And that's going to go as a strikeout 2-3 to end the inning. And that is going to do it here. And by our counts here tonight, not a lot of strikeouts for Samita. That would be number 2 in the books here so far through 4. No runs in the inning, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We are now moving to the top of the 5th inning. We're all locked up at 3, so we'll be back to bring it for you in just a bit right after this musical timeout.
This is Steve Rademacher, and I'd like to introduce you to my channel if you haven't seen it before. These are all the things I enjoy: sports, autographs, relics, non-sports Hall of Famers, pseudo-sports, Star Wars. That's my channel name and my name, and I would really appreciate it if you would come check me out and maybe even subscribe if you like it. Thank you for that for now, and back to your ball game.
Thank you there, Steve. We appreciate you and your support of our channel. And in turn, we support Steve Rademacher. Go check him out after the game. Let him know Last Raps Baseball sent you. It is going to be the top of the batting order to come to bat for the Lions here in inning number 5. That means Kuwahara, Genda, and Kishi. You face the lefty Ozeki, who has just completed his tune-up tosses. So the lefty is done. And now we're ready to resume the action here. We have a ticker that runs across the bottom of the screen. We update it at the end of each half inning. And that will give you all the answer that you need to know if you want to know what inning we are in. So this brings to the plate Kuwahara. He's 1 for 2 tonight as he stands in here. 10 for 35 on the start of the year. He takes a first pitch, breaking ball for a called strike. The count is quickly 0-1. He was up to bat when Hirasawa got picked off at first. Lefty kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on, grounded into the 6th hole. Fielding it is Nomura, but he's not going to have a play over at first base. It's going to be an infield single off the bat of Kuwahara. So he is aboard. It'll bring up Sosuke Genda. And I wouldn't bat an eye that Genda would be bunting in this situation as he did in the first inning. As the Lions will try to scratch and claw every run they can across the board. So Kuwahara aboard at first, and I'll bet dollars to donuts. And they're going to try to pick off over here at first with a so-so move. That is the recipe that seems to work for the Hawks. As the lefty Ozeki holds set, he does throw over to first, and diving back easily is the base runner Kuwahara. So Genda standing in, 6 for 24 on the season, batting .250. Again, they throw over to first, and again, diving back is the runner Kuwahara. They got to keep an eye on him. He can run a little bit. He's only got 1 stolen base so far this year, but in his time with the Base Stars, he was able to get himself around the bases. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball swung on, not bunting here is Genda. That's a very interesting decision. Softly hit into right field, Makihara in, and he makes the catch. I think that should be the first question of the press conference. You bunt him in the first inning, maybe to get the momentum. Why not bunt him again here in the 5th to get the lead back? So Genda gone for out number 1, and that'll bring up Junichiro Kishi. Well, for Kishi tonight, he is 0 for 2. He's grounded out, and he has flown out in his 2 trips. Batting from the right side here against the lefty Ozeki. Again, they throw over to first, and again, diving back is Kuwahara. 1 for 6 on the season is Kishi. Six hits so far here tonight for the Lions. They throw over to first, and again, diving back safely is the runner Kuwahara. Just as a reminder, after the 5th inning is completed, we do take a 5-minute break because we like to call it Japanese halftime. As they do in the Asian leagues, they take a 5-minute break, and some of the players still use it as a smoke break. Again, they throw to first, and again, diving back is Kuwahara. Again, the lefty leading in, working himself into the set. And here comes the pitch. Fastball taken for a called strike. The count 0-1 now to Kishi. I think Kishi might want that pitch back. It was a pretty darn good looking pitch. And the lefty Ozeki working himself into the set. Here comes the 0-1. Pitch on the way, fastball just misses inside, and the count runs even to 1-1. To tell you, at times tonight, the home plate umpire has had a very tight zone. But it's not like it's been one way, it's been both ways. It's the umpire Mizuguchi. Breaking ball swung on, grounded down the line at third base, past the diving Kuwahara. Rounding second and heading to third is Kuwahara. They're going to send him home. Here comes the throw to the plate. He slides. It is not going to be in time as he's going to score all the way from first base on an RBI double off the bat at Junichiro Kishi. And the Lions have taken themselves a 4-3 lead here. Well, there officially goes your under. He chose 6.5. That is going to bring up the designated hitter in Yuta Nakami. So Nakami stepping to the plate. He's 0 for 2 tonight. He has struck out both of his times to the plate. Runner at second is Kishi. One gone here in the 5th inning. And there's a fastball swung on. This ball's belted into deep right field. It's trouble. And this ball is going to be gone. A home run off the bat of Nakami. A 2-run shot. And they have now doubled the lead here against the Hawks. It is 6-3 for the Lions. Unbelievable explosion of runs. Nakami, his first hit of the year, a 2-run homer. And then to score in front of him comes Junichiro Kishi. That gives the Lions a 6-3 lead. And I have a feeling that could be the end of the night for the starter Ozeki. We may have seen enough. As may have his manager as well. And that is going to do it for Ozeki. He is walking off. We're going to take a little time out here to catch our breath. It is a 6-3 lead for the Lions. Our friend Steve will entertain you, and we'll be back in just a couple of moments right after this.
Hey, where are you going? It's a pitching change. Come on, sit back down. You don't go out there. Don't go get no food or anything. You've got a big decision. Are you going to throw in there Raleigh Fingers? Maybe Goose Gossage? How about maybe Mariano Rivera or Lee Smith, Dennis Eckersley? Who knows? It's a pitching change. Come on back. You know who I would pick for this? A nice, tall, cool one. There's my pitcher. That's my pitching change. That's a winning combination. Come see my channel. You know, every day is opening day. And according to Bob, I must be in front row. Blah.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be Shuto Ogata coming in relief here as he will be taking over for Tomohisa Ozeki, who has left the ball game, surrendering all 6 of the runs to the Lions. We appreciate everybody who has jumped in here tonight. Wish I could give you a better call. We are laboring with the back end of a sinus infection / allergy deal. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is 0-1 to Watanabe. I feel like Darth Vader calling the game. But we'll grind it through tonight, and we'll see how tomorrow brings. Breaking ball misses down and away, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike to Watanabe. Ogata working from the set position with nobody on, pitch on the way. Breaking ball misses down and away. The appeal over to first base, but they say Watanabe didn't go. It's now 2-1. Watanabe tonight is 1 for 2. He's got a double in 2 trips. He also came around to score the second run of the game on the home run by Tonosaki. Fastball swung on and missed, and he has gone for out number 2. That's going to be the second out of the inning. And they'll bring up Tonosaki to the plate. Our friend Fishhead says better than the gal who does the A's games. Yeah, appreciate that. As I said, we were 50-50 on whether we're going to do this one tonight. So there's a breaking ball that misses down and away, but we haven't been on in a week. It's been going on for a little bit. We don't exactly have the sweetest of voices, that's for sure. There's a fastball swung on, and Tonosaki lifts it into straightaway center field. Underneath it is Shudo. He's there to make the catch, and that is going to do it, as he's going to be gone for the third out of the inning, but damage done here in the fifth. 3 runs in the inning. The big blow, the 2-run homer off the bat in a Cammy. There were 3 hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. Moving to the bottom of the fifth inning, it is 6-3 for the Lions. Stick around, everybody. We appreciate you guys for hanging in and listening to us on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be Amino, Nomura, and Shudo. Question comes up, are the Lions capable of holding on? Maybe. Smida's on a pretty good pitch count, and I would think that they got to take him 7 or 8 innings to be able to do this. So that is the case here. Our friend Chepa Valley says over 6.5 for the Lions. Well, in this situation here, the Hawks are not going to be using their best bullpen arms. So the likelihood of that probably could be us. And the first pitch of the inning is a breaking ball delivered to Amino. It's taken for a called strike. Count is 0-1. Amino grounded into a double play his first time up. Samita delivers a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Lefty versus the righty as he kicks and delivers. Fastball missing, out and away. Count now goes to 1-2 on Amino. 8 1-2 hitters to come to bat here in the inning. To be Nomura and Shudo to follow. Fastball backs him off the plate. The count now goes to 2-2. 53 pitches through 4 innings for Samita. He's on a pretty good pitch count right now, and if the Lions want to win, he's going to have to deliver a couple more good innings. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed, and that is going to retire Amino. He's down on strikes for the first out of the inning. That's going to bring up the shortstop, and is Sami Nomura. Again, a reminder, we will take a 5-minute break after this half inning, as we like to call it, the Japanese halftime, as they will get a drinks break, smoke break, and another type of break. There was a breaking ball that swung on and fouled away, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Nomura. So no balls and 1 strike as the lefty delivers. Fastball misses down and away, and the count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Yukio Shudo waiting his turn on deck. As the 1-1 on the way, it's a breaking ball swung on. This is hammered into left field. It's going to get down for a base hit, and that's going to be a single for Nomura. It's going to bring up the top of the order in Yukio Shudo. Well, for Shudo, as he strides to the plate, he is 1 for 2 tonight. He has singled and scored a run, and he has grounded out to third. So left-hander against the left-hander. Samita kicks and delivers. Breaking ball missing, down and away, and the count is 1-0. Getting into a dangerous part of the order here. Base hit. Got some big power parts of the order coming up right after Shudo. This game can flip right back to a 6-6 game. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on it. It's popped foul into the seats behind home plate. Count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Shudo digging in. Waggling the bat, waiting on the offering from the lefty Samita. As he pitches on the way, it's a fastball taken for a called strike. Count now at 1-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Shudo again waggling the bat. Waiting from the lefty Samita here to deliver. Here comes the 1-2. Fastball just misses outside. Count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Samita checking his signs with Yuta Koga. Again, working to the belt, and here comes the 2-2 on the way. Breaking ball swung on and missed. And Shudo gone for the second out of the inning. It's going to leave it all up to Kensuke Kondo. Well, for Kondo, he is officially 1 for 1 tonight. He's got the 2-run homer in the third, and he has walked. So Samita has to unlock the key here to try to get him out. So won't get any easier with Ryoya Kurihara on deck. Here comes the first pitch. Breaking ball missing, down and in. Count quickly 1-0 to Kondo. Kondo 11 for 35 on the season with 3 homers and 9 runs driven in. Lefty delivers. Breaking ball drops in for a called strike, and the count now runs even to 1-1. Yeah, why do I just feel like Kondo's going to do something here? Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Lefty Samita holds, kicks, and fires. Fastball swung on, lined into left field, moving back just in front of the warning track and making the catch is Kuwahara. He hit the ball right on the screws, but right to the glove of the left fielder, and that's going to do it here in the 5th for the Hawks. No runs in the inning. There was a hit. There was no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. We're taking our 5-minute break. We'll put it on some entertaining music here for you. Top of the 6 is around the corner. Appreciate you guys for listening in. We'll try to go get some vitamin C and bring back the 6th inning for you in just a few minutes. Music on loop. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a little bit.
You've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole.
Welcome back, everybody. Alexander Canario at the plate. He fouled the first pitch off, and he took a breaking ball outside from Ogata. Count is 1 ball and 1 strike. It'll be Canario, Koga, and Hirasawa to come to bat here in the 6th. There's a fastball swung through and missed, and the count now goes to 1-2 on Canario. So far in this one here tonight, 6 runs, 9 hits, no errors for the Lions, 3-5, and 1 for the Hawks. Fastball swung on and missed. Canario down on strikes for out number 1 here in the 6th inning. That'll bring up the catcher in Yuta Koga. And Koga tonight, well, he's 1 for 2. He's got a single and RBI, and he's also grounded out in his 2 trips. So 3 for 8 on the season for the catcher of the Lions. And the pitch on the way is a fastball that misses outside. The count is quickly 1 ball and no strikes to Koga. And Ogata working quickly. There's a fastball that's taken for a called strike. The count runs even to 1-1. Looking ahead to the bottom of the 6th inning, it'll be the 3, 4, and 5 hitters come to bat for the Hawks. As the pitch is on the way, there is a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count now goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Again, the radio Ogata delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on, grounded right back to the pitcher. Fields it, underhand, flips it to Yamakawa at first. It's going to go a ground out 1-3. It's 2 in the books. It's going to leave it all up to the first baseman and Taiga Hirasawa. Well, for Hirasawa, he is 2 for 2 tonight. We said he was 1 for 17. That was during the 2025 season. 2 hits here tonight has doubled his total from last year. Batting from the left side, the pitch is a fastball at the knees for a called strike. Count is quickly 0-1. Right-hander delivers. There's a fastball swung through and missed. The count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes to Hirasawa. There's a fastball swung on. It has popped up behind home plate. It's playable. Underneath it is Umeno. He's there to make the catch, and that is going to do it as the Lions go quietly here in the 6th. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're now moving to the bottom of the 6th inning. Your score is the Lions 6 and the Hawks 3. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action right after this on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Oh, hello. Oh, hey. Yep. I'm just sitting here listening to Freddie call another game here on YouTube. Oh, yeah, going really good. He's calling a great game. Really exciting. Lots of stuff going on. You're lucky it's commercial break right now. I got a second. Oh, yeah, of course I'm having a cold one. Oh, yeah, got plenty of videos coming up this week. You should stop in, check them out, leave a like, tell other people. But Freddie's coming back. I got to go catch the game. I will check in with you later. You have a good night, buddy. Bye.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 3, 4, and 5 hitters to come to bat. That's Kurihara, Yanagita, and Yamakawa. You face the left-hander Samita, who has been keeping the Hawks at bay through the first 5 innings. He has allowed 3 runs in the ball game, a 2-run shot off the bat of Kondo, and a solo shot to Yamakawa. Very economical with his pitches, only 69 pitches through 5. By Japanese standards, he's got a lot left in the tank. There's a first pitch fastball taken for a called strike. Count is quickly 0-1. There are some changes defensively for the Lions, and we'll have to get that for you in just a few. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. Count now goes to 0-2. So a couple of changes defensively for the Lions. As the right-hander delivers, there's a fastball that misses way upstairs. Count is 1-2. Looks like Canario's night is done. Have to see who the players are that are moving into the other spots. Here comes the 1-2 pitch as Samita rocks into the windup and delivers. There's a fastball swung on and missed, and that is going to retire Kurihara. It's the second time tonight he's down on strikes. That's the first out of the inning. That is going to bring up the designated hitter in Yuki Yanagita. And by our count, that would be the 5th strikeout tonight for Samita. Samurai Prayer says he is back, and we are glad to have you. We kept the seat warm for you. So here comes the first offering to Yanagita. It's a fastball swung on. This is lined into center field for a base hit. And that is going to be, as Ishii goes over to pick it up, and he fires it back in. It's going to be a long single for Yanagita. It's going to bring up the first baseman, Otake Yamakawa. Well, for Yamakawa, he's 1 for 2 tonight. He's got a home run in 2 trips. And the thing is he is in scoring position as soon as he steps in the batter's box. The big fella has had some big-time rips against Samita here tonight. Looks like Tonosaki has moved over to first base. There's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0 to Yamakawa. So I'm just looking to see where the shuffling has come for the Lions in this one. Looks like Takizawa is in at second. There's a breaking ball swung on. It is popped up. That is over on the third base side of home plate. Underneath it is Koga. He's there to make the catch. Yamakawa going to be retired for the second out of the inning. It's going to leave it all up to Kenta Imamiya. So Takizawa into play at second. Tonosaki moves over to first, and Shinya Hasegawa has come in for Canario as he is taking over in right field. So this brings to the plate, it'll be Kenta Imamiya. It'll be a batting from the right side. There's a breaking ball that's taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. No balls and 1 strike. Imamiya waggling the bat as the lefty Samita works himself to the belt. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. On its way, fastball misses down, and the count runs even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Imamiya waggling the bat. 78 pitches now here for Samita as he kicks and fires. There's a breaking ball down. Nice stop there by Koga. So out to 2 balls and 1 strike. Right-handed hitting, Imamiya waggling the bat, getting himself set back in the batter's box. Smita ready to deliver the 2-1 pitch. As it's on its way, it's a breaking ball that's taken for a called strike. Just caught the outside corner. Runs the count now to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Imamiya. And the lefty working himself into the set position. Here comes the 2-2. Kicks and fires. Fastball really moves Imamiya off the plate. Oh boy, he dialed that one up. Smita probably sitting in the low 90s, maybe upper 80s with his fastball tonight. That one was unleashed at almost 95 miles an hour. That moved off Imamiya off the dish. So the count is full here to the veteran second baseman of the Hawks as the lefty nods in agreement with his catcher, Koga. Here's the 3-2. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball swung on. Rolled over to short. Fielded neatly by Genda. He fires to first. That's going to be a ground out 6-3. And that's going to do it here in the third inning for the Hawks. No runs in the inning. There was a hit. There was no errors. And there was 1 runner left aboard. Your score as we now move to the 7th inning. It is a 6-3 lead for the Lions. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a bit with all the action after this musical timeout. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving ourselves to the top of the 7th inning. We are anticipating a pitching change for the Hawks. It looks like they are going to a right-hander. And that right-hander is number, it looks like 43. Or is it? There's that 48. I don't think it's Fuji because I think Fuji's season is done. It is number 42. There you go. Yusuke Ito is on the mound, taking over here. Will be the third pitcher used tonight by Fukuoka. So Ito has completed his tune-up tosses. We are ready to resume the action. It's the top of the order. It'll be Kuwahara, Genda, and Kishi to come to bat here in inning number 7. As the right-hander ready to take over. It's only his second appearance of the year. As Ito ready to go back to work. Here comes the offering as he kicks and delivers a fastball that misses down, and the count is quickly 1-0 to Kuwahara. Kuwahara 2 for 3 today. He's got 2 singles. He has scored a run. He has also flown out to right field. Batting .306 on the season. Here's the pitch. Fastball taken for a called strike. The count runs even to 1-1. There's been a lot of home runs in this ball game. It has been a power display. 2-run homer off the bat of Shuta Tonosaki and another 2-run homer off the bat of Nakami have accounted for 4 of the 6 Lion runs. Fastball goes all the way to the backstop, and the count now goes to 2-1 on Kuwahara. For the Hawks, all their runs have come via the home run. A 2-run shot by Kondo and a solo shot by Yamakawa have given the Hawks their 3 runs in this one. And the right-hander ready to go back to work. He holds to the set, 2-1 on the way. Fastball swung on, lifted into straightaway center field. Moving back and backpedaling underneath it is Shudo. He's there to make the catch. And Kuwahara is going to be retired for the first out of the inning. It's going to bring up the shortstop in Sosuke Genda. Well, for Genda, he is 0 for 3, actually 0 for 2. He's grounded out, he has flown out, and he's got a sacrifice bunt to his name. Batting from the left side here as the right-hander holds to the set, now delivers. Fastball misses up and away, and the count is quickly 1-0. So ball and no strikes. And the batting from the left side, waiting on the pitch here from the right-hander who kicks and fires. Fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 1-1 strike. There's a breaking ball delivered by Ito. It's another one taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 1-2 on Genda. Good relief performance by the reliever Ogata. Came in to steady the ship for the Hawks. There's a fastball swung on, grounded to short. Nomura fields it, he fires to first, and that's going to retire Genda on a ground out 6-3. So that's 2 up and 2 away. It's going to leave it all up to the center fielder in Junichiro Kishi. Jay Bruno says the Hawks have run out of gas. Well, maybe, or maybe they're just laying down to lick their wounds a bit and try one more little comeback or one more little fight. I guess we're going to have to wait and see here in the next couple innings. The hardest outs are going to be the final ones. And the first pitch to Junichiro Kishi is a breaking ball that misses inside, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Right-hander against the right-hander. Ito delivers. There's a split-finger pitch swung on and tapped foul behind home plate. Count runs even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Thanks for coming in here, Steve. Appreciate you for hanging out. There's the 1-1 on the way. It's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. Count is 1-2. And once we're able to kick this sinus infection, we'll start to sound unrobotic. Maybe it's AI taking over in our body. Produce these type of sounds. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. As it's on the way, it's a fastball swung on. Lifted into a right center field. Moving over underneath it is Makihara. He's there to make the catch. That's going to retire Kishi for the 3rd out of the inning. And the Lions go quietly here in the 7th. That is 8 in a row retired by Hawks pitching. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. Bottom of the 7th is just around the corner. We're going to give you our version of Take Me Out to the Ball Game. And we'll be back in just a few. Welcome back, everybody. And it is going to be the bottom of the 7th inning. Our friend Samurai Purr says our voice sounds tired. Yeah, it is not as bad as it was a couple days ago, which is why we stayed off the airwaves. Could have done games on the Saturday and Sunday, but just felt like we got hit by a truck. It's going to be Makihara, Umeno, and Nomura. Our friend, the Wondrous Talk Show, says any calls for later tonight. No, we're going to try to do one tomorrow. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Makihara. Makihara 0 for 2, struck out and bounced into a fielder's choice. So no doubleheader for us, probably for at least until next week. Start to do some double dips. Here comes the 0-1 pitch as the lefty rocks into the windup and delivers. There's a fastball that just misses down and away, and the count runs even to 1-1. 82 pitches through 6 innings for Samita. As the left-hander rocks himself into the windup and delivers. There's a fastball swung on, grounded in through the 6-hole into left field. And Makihara is aboard with a leadoff single here to start the 7th. It's going to bring up the catcher in Takashi Umeno. Question comes up, how many strikeouts for Ozaki tonight? And if our scoring is correct, he only had 2 via our count. So he did not have a particularly big night in the strikeout department. Well, it looks like we're going to have a pinch hitter here as the Hawks are going to their bench. That's going to be the end of the night for Amino. It is going to be Akira Nakamura, the assassin. Our friend Gracie Lynn says, how's it going tonight? Well, it sounds like Darth Vader is in the house. That's what it sounds like. So we're glad you can make it in. There's a few people in the stream, and we're glad you can make it finally. So Akira Nakamura is here. We're going to pass it over to Gracie. Maybe she can make the call the rest of the way. As the pitch on the way, there's a fastball that's taken for a ball, and the count is 1-0 to Nakamura. Nakamura hit .240 last season. He has been the invisible man so far in 2026. As the pitch is on the way, it's a fastball taken at the knees for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. Question is, what's my horse in the race? Unfortunately, I do not have a horse in the race. And Gracie Lynn hits us with a super chat. We appreciate you, Gracie Lynn, for your kindness. There is a breaking ball that just misses, and the count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. I actually saw a YouTube channel that had paint drying, and you could watch it for 24 hours. Here comes the 1-2 pitch as the lefty kicks and delivers. Breaking ball down in the dirt. Nice stop there by the catcher Koga, and the count goes to 2-2. Gracie Lynn says we don't want her, but we got your Lions with a 6-3 lead here, Gracie, as they have used the long ball to their advantage, and some decent pitching here by Samita so far to keep them at bay. So 2 balls and 2 strikes as Samita nods in agreement with Koga. Here comes the 2-2. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball swung on and slashed into the seats over on the third base side. The count remains at 2s to Nakamura. We've had some big streams. This stream here would be arguably one of our larger ones for this year. We do thank everybody who has taken the time to come in and listen with us. Pitch is on the way. There is a breaking ball that's lifted into the seats down the left field line. Count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes to Nakamura. The question is, do you think the Hawks can win? Yeah, I do. The Hawks can. The Hawks are dangerous. Lineup is dangerous, and I'll tell you, I'll take it even one step further. If Nakamura or Nomura get on here, and if they can bring the top of the order to the plate, with only one out, you got to think about some serious runs to be scored. As the 2-2 pitch is on the way, there's a breaking ball swung on, grounded softly to second. They go to second for one, back to first, and that's going to be a double play. Well, that might answer our question. Maybe the Hawks aren't going to do it here, as that is a 4-6-3 variety. And that hurts because that would have set up a potential, maybe a run or maybe more. But now that is going to bring Isami Nomura to the plate, who is 1 for 2 tonight. My friend Gracie Lynn said she watched heck of a game as Soriano was pitching, almost backfired on him. Yeah, I didn't get in. I just saw the score of the Tiger game and hadn't really checked out any of the other MLB stuff tonight. There's a fastball that misses, or sorry, that catches the outside corner. Count is 0-1 to Nomura. My Major League Baseball stuff, not so much. I'll catch my first minor league game on Wednesday. Fastball misses up and away, and the count goes to 1-1. I saw the Guardians and the Mariners last weekend, or not this weekend, the weekend before. Saw the Yankees and the Mariners. Going to catch the Aqua Sox and the Canadians. There's a breaking ball swung on. It is popped up on the infield. It is playable. Underneath it is Genda, and he's there to make the catch, and that's going to do it, as Nomura is going to be retired for the third out of the inning. And that will do it here for the Hawks in the 7th. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left the board. We're moving to the top of the 8th. We're getting into the deep water. It is a 6-3 ball game. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. Appreciate you for hanging in on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be right back after this timeout. Welcome back, everybody. The question has come up of what game are we going to cover tomorrow? To be honest with you, I'll have to take a look at the starting pitching. We haven't done any games in the Central League yet this year, so that is something that we would look to consider. I do want to do the Blue Jay game between the Dodgers and the Blue Jays. Shohei Ohtani is going to be the starter. Looks like that could be the end of the night for Samita on 95 pitches. The manager had come over to talk to him, so we may see a pitching change in the bottom of the 8th inning. But we'll have to wait and see. Samita is still in the bench area, as he still may be coming in, but I have a feeling it's getting close to his limit. We will wait and see what the managerial decision has to be there. But back to our selection, I'm going to take a look at the pitching matchups tomorrow, and I'm going to see who we'll look at, and we'll try to pick one of the ball games to cover from there. There's a first pitch breaking ball that misses down and away to Nakami, and the count is 1-0. Pitching change for the Hawks. They have a new pitcher in the ball game, a lefty. It's number 60, Kazu Ono. As that fastball misses for a ball, the count is now 2-0. So Kazu Ono on in relief. And the lefty delivers. There's a fastball missing down and away. The count now goes to 3-0. So 3 balls and no strikes. We also have a change behind the plate, as it looks like it is Kenta Tanagawara who has come in to replace Meno. As the lefty kicks and delivers, fastball misses outside. So ball forward to Nakami. And he is aboard with a leadoff walk here to start the 8th inning. And that is going to bring up the third baseman in Seiya Watanabe. I would have thought they might have tried to stretch one more half inning out of the lefty, but we'll have to wait and see how that is. Fish says, top of the 8th. Yep, it's on the ticker across the bottom. There's a quick breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1 to Watanabe. So no balls and 1 strike. It has definitely been a labor here tonight. But the ball game has been entertaining, and we're glad that you guys can make it in. There's a fastball swung on, and it's grounded foul past the bag at first base, and the count now goes to no balls and 2 strikes. Maybe a labor of love more than anything else. Going through the iced tea and the mango juice as quickly as possible. 0-2 pitch backs the hitter Watanabe off the plate. The count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Lefty holds at the belt. Here comes the pitch. It's a breaking ball swung on, grounded over to second, and it's going to gobble up the second baseman, Imamiya, and bound shallow right field. That is going to send the runner over to third. So Nakami all the way over to third. Stopping at first is Watanabe on the air by the second baseman. And the Lions have got something brewing here with runners on the corners and nobody out. And it's going to bring Shuta Tonosaki to the plate. So the Lions here tonight have just clawed their way. That's uncharacteristic poor defense by Imamiya. Imamiya is usually a pretty sure-handed middle infielder. Good piece of base running there by Nakami. Get all the way around to third. So runners at the corners. And nobody out here as the Lions looking to punch some more runs across the plate. Tonosaki tonight officially 1 for 3. He reached on an error and scored a run in the second. He had a 2-run homer in the 4th and flew out to center in the 5th inning. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball misses down. Good stop by Tanagawara. So 1 ball and no strikes. Tonosaki has pulled his average up to 208. He delivers. There's a fastball swung on and it fouled away. I think it might have caught a piece of the home plate umpire. Count remains at 1-1. Fish had said earlier, did you say they play 12 innings? If they go extra innings, they cap it at 12. So it's a 9-inning game. But if it's tied, they can go all the way to the 12th inning. And if it's still tied after 12, that is where the game ends. There's a fastball swung on, taken on 1/2 by Nomura. They go to second for 1. Back to first. Oh, they say he's safe. And that's going to get a run across. I'd like to get a replay of this one. The Lions are going to get one across here. No matter what, Nakami in to score. I'm the Hawks. I'm going to go upstairs and have a look at this one. I want to have a look at this one. Hit the ball hard, did Tonosaki. A great play by the shortstop. They got the force at second. Maybe nothing to look at. It looks like he beat it out. So it'll be a fielder's choice. It's going to go 6-4 in the books. Safe at first on the fielder's choice is Tonosaki, but he does get an RBI. And the first pitch, fastball delivered to Shinya Hasegawa, ticket for a called strike. The count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. So Fishhead says they play 12 instead of 9. No, they play 9. If it's tied after 9, then it goes until somebody gets more runs. Breaking ball misses down. It's now 1-1, but the game will stop after 12 innings. Samurai Prayer says we're at 4,050. Yep. It's been pretty busy last few weeks. It's been amazing how quickly it's been ratcheting up. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Fastball swung on, lined into right center field. It's going to get down for a base hit. Over to pick it up is Makihara. He fires it in. And stopping over at third is Tonosaki on the single by Hasegawa. That's going to put runners at the corners with 1 gone, and it's going to bring Yuta Koga to the plate. Yeah, it's been pretty cool. As I said, I'd like to put on a couple more games last week. Just got hit by a truck that Wednesday. Then I went down to Seattle to see the Yankees and the Mariners. That really took the stuffing out of me. Probably shouldn't have made that trip. Whew. So runners at the corners brings Koga to the plate. He's 1 for 3 tonight, and he takes a breaking ball outside for ball 1. So 1 ball and no strikes. Our friend Samurai Prayer says, bless you. Hope I got to the hot button in time. I don't want to be sneezing in people's ears. Let's apologize for that. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is. Done everything. We've taken the reactant. We thought it was that. It's certainly, we have all full taste, so it's not like we've lost our taste or anything. There's a breaking ball that's swung on and fouled away in the count 1-2, which is why I believe it's not a cold. It would be like a sinus infection or, combination of allergies and that as well. Just have to grind it out. It's always this time of the year, especially on the West Coast. Before on the East Coast, never so much, but here it is now. So here comes the 1-2 pitch as the lefty delivers. Fastball swung on and lifted foul. Count remains at 1-2. We had also mentioned that this year our goal was to do about 150 games. I think we're over 30 now. I would say by the end of this month, we should be in the neighborhood of about 60. Well on our way to that tally. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Pitch on the way. Fastball. Woo. Comes in and moves. Koga off the plate, and it's now 2-2. Gracie Lynn said, yeah, it is allergy season. And again, like as I was saying before, never used to have this problem back east, so it's also indigenous to the area where you live too. So usually around this time of the year, it'll set in for a couple of weeks. Once we get through it, then we're off and running and no problems after that. So 2 balls and 2 strikes it is, as the lefty getting his sign from his catcher, Tanegawara. And the pitch on the way, slow breaking ball, swung on and missed. And that's going to retire Koga for the second out of the inning. So 2 in the books, and that's going to leave it all up to the first baseman in Taiga Hirasawa. Or will it? Or are we going to have ourselves a new player here in the ballgame. It is going to be Takazawa who is coming to bat. So Natsuo Takazawa, this will be his first at bat of the ballgame. So Takazawa, the 22-year-old, he is looking for his first hit of the year. He's 0 for 13. As the lefty kicks and delivers, fastball swung on it. And there it is. Ground ball into left field for a base hit. He's going to get himself an RBI, and that's going to improve the score line to 8-3. And to score comes Shuta Tonosaki. Stopping at second is Hasegawa. So the score line now 8-3 here for the Lions. They'll bring up the top of the order in Masayuki Kuwahara. And I got to say, this is probably the time in the stream where we might want to get the shovels out and start throwing the dirt on the Hawks. It's going to be pretty tough for them to make a comeback now. But you can never count them out at home at the PayPay Dome. So the lefty ready to go again as he holds set, now delivers. Breaking ball swung on it, is lifted into right center field. Over is Makihara underneath it, and he makes the catch. And that is going to retire Kuwahara for the third out of the inning, and that'll do it for the Lions here in the eighth. But they add a couple of more runs on the board, 2 runs in the inning on the benefit of 2 hits. There was an error, and there was 2 runners left aboard. Your scores move to the bottom of the 8th inning. It is an 8-3 lead for the Lions. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. Appreciate you guys as we thank you guys for hanging in here with us on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Be right back after this. We'll be back in just a minute. Welcome back, everybody. We have a pitching change, as that is going to be the end of the night for Chihiro Sabita. And just like that, over in a minute, my voice is completely changed and we clear up. Of course, that'll probably be for about the next 5 minutes. That is going to be Shota Hamaya, who is coming on in relief. It's almost like you got a different announcer here for the next few innings, or for the next few minutes anyway. So it is going to be Shota Hamaya on in relief, as he is taking over here. It's going to be his 4th appearance of the year. So they are turning to the bullpen, are the Lions in this one. Well, he's still trying to finish off his tune-up tosses. So the question earlier came on, what game do you think we're going to be able to do tomorrow? And as I mentioned, I generally like to see what the pitching matchups will look like. If I had to lean to something, I have to look at the weather as well. I would consider doing the Yokohama game. I'd like to see them and the Dragons. I also wouldn't mind maybe doing the Carp and the Giants if we do the late night game with those 2 ball clubs. Or I wouldn't mind returning to do the Hawks and the Lions for the second game of the series. So I'll have to wait and see. Well, maybe we'll put up a poll. We'll see what everybody wants to listen to. Here comes the first offering. As the first pitch is a fastball, I'll take it for a called strike. The count is 0-1. It is Yukio Shudo, Kensuke Kondo, and Ryoya Kurihara slated to come to bat here against Hamaya, the lefty, who kicks and fires. The pitch is a slow breaking ball, misses down and away, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Bottom of the 8th inning. 8-3 lead for the Lions over the Hawks. As the lefty rocks slowly into the windup and delivers. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball that is taken for a strike, and the count goes to 1-2. I don't know if you guys remember the catcher Greg Zahn, who played with the Blue Jays, who also played with the Brewers and a pile of other teams. Zahn had an interesting take about the ABS system that's been implemented in Major League Baseball. He talked about how the ABS system, he doesn't like it at all. There's a ground ball hit to short. Genda fields it, throws to first, and Shudo is going to be retired on a ground out 6-3. He doesn't like it at all. There's been a few guys who I don't like it. Will Clark does not like it, nor does Eric Burns. I saw those guys talking about it a little bit. And one of the reasons that they don't like it, or at least they're alluding to, is with the gambling that is in the sports now. They're saying that gambling wants to get things quote unquote right in some scenarios. And that is why that they are doing these ABS ball tracking systems. That was an interesting take that they had. Here's the first pitch. It is a fastball that misses inside to Kondo, and the count is quickly 1-0. Zahn, of course, once upon a time, he was a kind of like the Don Cherry of baseball up in Canada, and he got fired because I believe he was doing some things to some of the lady employees that weren't acceptable. Breaking ball misses inside. Count is 2-0. They wanted him to be the Don Cherry of baseball, and they're kind of feeding his ego and all the rest of that stuff. And it sounded like he didn't just cross a line. It sounded like he crossed a bunch of lines in the sand. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Yes, there's a fastball that's taken for a called strike, and the count is 2-1. See, Gracie Lynn says the ABS is the best thing that ever happened in her baseball life. I don't know. I thought when the Texas Rangers scored 8 or more runs and they were giving out chalupas, that sounded like something I could get into. Here's the 2-0 pitch. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away right off the glove of Koga, and the count is now 2-2. Something like score 8 runs or more, and dinner is on us. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, the lefty leading in, getting the sign from his catcher, Koga. Which would be an interesting question. I wonder how many times the Lions have scored 8 runs tonight in the NPB, where the scoring is typically lower. I wonder how many times in 143 games a team would score 8 or more runs. Breaking ball swung on and lifted foul into the seats over on the third base side. The count remains at 2s. The question I'd have to go and look up, because I don't have the answer to it myself. How many times, who scored 8 runs or more in a game during the 2025 season? This time has been called, and stepping out is Kondo. Now we're back to the action as Hamaya rocks himself into the windup. He kicks and delivers. 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball misses down and away. Count now 3-2. Yeah. It's kind of like offering everybody that free Peronis. A Peroni obviously is an Italian beer for every goal that the Italians score in the World Cup this year. Fastball swung on and lifted foul into the seats. Now it remains at 3 balls and 2 strikes to Kondo. Something nobody's going to be able to win. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Waiting on deck is Ryoya Kurihara as the meat of the order is ready to come to bat. Hawks find themselves down 8-3 here in the bottom half of inning number 8. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball swung on, popped up over on the right field line. Is it playable? Moving over underneath it, but they're going to watch it sail into the netting is the Lions defense. Kondo stays alive. It is still 3-2. It's going to be the 9th pitch of the at-bat for Kondo. Yeah. So 3 balls and 2 strikes it remains. 12 pitches already here in the inning for the lefty reliever Amaya, who has come on to replace Samita. So the 3-2 pitch ready here. As he rocks himself into the windup and he kicks and delivers. Fastball swung on, grounded over to the right side, fielded neatly by the second baseman who throws to first. That's going to be a ground out 4-3. That's going to be out number 2 here. And for the second baseman, as we mentioned, that was Takezawa who had come on into the ball game. That is Nitsuo Takezawa. So 2 gone, and it brings Kurihara to the plate, who is looking for his first hit tonight. Officially 0-for-3. He has struck out twice and flown out. As the lefty Amaya rocks and delivers. Slow breaking ball misses up and in, and the count is quickly 1-0 to Kurihara. Once this game is over, well, this is the only game that's going on right now, so it'll be a quick wrap-up. As the pitch on the way is a breaking ball that catches the outside corner. Count now goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. And the lefty rocks himself into the windup. He kicks and fires. There's a breaking ball swung on it. Is pounded into right field. It's down for a base hit. Hasegawa over to pick it up, and Kurihara is aboard with his first hit of the ball game. That's going to bring up the designated hitter in Yuki Yanagita. Well, for Yanagita, he steps to the plate. He is officially 1-for-3 tonight. He's got a single in 3 trips. He's also flown to right and flown to center. So now he is 10-for-36 on the early season. So the left-hander ready to deliver again here. Here comes the pitch. Amaya delivers a breaking ball that moves Yanagita off the plate. The count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. We didn't update the banner. It is 8-3 is the lead here, as we forgot to do it on the in-between. All the scoring that has taken place here tonight as the Lions are enjoying themselves a healthy lead. There's a fastball swung on it, is grounded off the glove of Genda, and it's going to go into center field, and that is going to put runners at first and second. So I'm not sure. Oh, they're going to give him a hit. That's a very favorable score for Yanagita. It won't affect his batting average, although I have to say, I think that's a ball Genda should have came up with. We'll look at the replay ourselves. The ball looked like it knuckled off the bat. It came down on 1 bounce, and it stayed down. That's a homer decision. That should have been an error on Genda. That's a play he needs to make all day long. That puts runners at first and second. It's going to bring Hotaka Yamakawa to the plate. And Yamakawa tonight has already done damage as he had a home run in the second inning. We got Camp Fitty asking the question, where do we watch? Well, You only get the Easter eggs once in the stream, and that would be at the 15-minute mark. So if you want to go back to the 15-minute mark, we give you all your options there. And you can listen where you can watch it and where you can stream it. We do it over about a 2-minute window. So that brings Yamakawa to the plate. He is 1 for 3. He's got a home run in 3 trips. He's also flown to left and popped to the catcher. As the lefty Hamaya working himself into the set, he checks the runners. Now delivers. There's a breaking ball waved at and missed. And the count is quickly 0-1 to Yamakawa. So no balls and 1 strike. Hawks fans still believing, not giving up. 1 swing of the bat here could cut the lead to a pair. Yamakawa really raises the hands above his head. As the 0-1 pitch ready to come here, as the check the runner at second, now delivers. There's a fastball that misses outside. Count now goes even to 1-1 on Yamakawa. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Yamakawa waggles the bat. Waiting on the offering from the lefty Hamaya, who is on in relief of Samita. Again, the lefty holding to the set. Here's the 1-1. Fastball swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 1-2. See, this would be a perfect time if he had a change piece. I don't know his pitch mix all that well, but if he could pull the string here on Yamakawa, he could get him way out in front and put him away. 1 ball, 2 strike it is. I'm not sure a back foot slider would put him away, but we'll have to see here. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Again, the lefty works himself to the belt, checks the runner over at second, who's Kurihara. And the pitch on the way. It is a fastball hammered, and that is just foul into that temporary seating down the left field line, and the count remains at 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. So Yamakawa with the big swing going on, but he was just way out in front of that one. He knows that he hits himself in the helmet, punches himself in the head. He knew that he should have been better with that. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. And waggling the bat above his head is Yamakawa. Lefty kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball down. Oh, that's a good stop by Koga. 2 balls and 2 strikes. It is now to Yamakawa. If you had just joined us, Lions jumped out with a early 1-0 lead in the second. Hawks responded with 1 of their own. And the Hawks took the lead 3-1 after 3, but 2 in the 4th off the bat of Shuta Tonosaki tied the ball game. Then the Lions scored 3 in the 5th, and they added 2 more in the 8th. That has given them the 8-3 lead. They have scored 7 unanswered runs. But the Hawks here have 2 on and 2 out. Here comes the 2-2. Fastball misses way outside. It's going to be 3-2 now to Yamakawa. And the runners are going to be on the move here. And it's Kenta Imamiya who is waiting his turn on deck. The light-hitting Kenta Imamiya. Makes you wonder if he gets aboard, will they possibly go to a pinch hitter? So 3 balls and 2 strikes. As the lefty works to the set position, here comes the 3-2 offering. Breaking ball swung on it, is lifted into deep center field. Moving back on the track, leaping, and he can't come up with it. The ball is on the ground. That's going to get a run in. It might get a pair in. Yamakawa is digging for 2. And he is going to slide in safely, and the Hawks have now cut the lead to 8-5. Oh boy. So guess what, everybody? We got a ball game again here, as he is in at second base with 2 RBIs. It's given him 3 on the night. Kurihara in to score the 4th run and the 5th run, Yanagita. And it's going to bring Kenta Imamiya to the plate. Well, so much for putting the Hawks asleep here. That brings the fan base to life. And Junichiro Kishi, he mistimed his jump. I think he could have had that. Mistimed the jump, missed it, slammed into the wall, ball got away, and then Hawks are running all over the bases. We got to have a pinch runner here for Yamakawa. So Junichiro Kishi. It looks like we're going to have a pitching change. That is going to be the end of the night for the lefty. So we're going to take a little time out here. We're going to come back with all the action. Pitching change here in Japan. Just stay with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a few after this. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the right-hander Hiroshi Kaino coming in as he is taking over here. Making his 4th appearance of the year. He's got a fluffed-up ERA at 6.00. So Kaino on in relief of Hamaya. Well, we're going to see how this one fares out here as Hamaya unable to get the job done tonight. Interestingly enough, Hamaya got the first 2 batters that he faced, and all of the damage has come after that. A single by Kurihara, a single by Yanagita, and a bases clearing double by Yamakawa has cut the scoreline to 8-5. In to run for Yamakawa, it is number 25, and that is going to be Yudai Shoji. So Shoji in to run. And stepping in here is Imamiya, who is 1 for 3 on the night. He's got a single in 3 trips. Right-hander delivers a breaking ball that misses outside. The count is 1-0. So Kaino, the 3rd pitcher used tonight by the Lions. I remember I said a few innings ago, I said, I thought Samita had to go 7 or 8. Well, he got him 7 innings. Or check that, he got him 6 innings. No, actually got him 7 innings. I wish he would have got him an 8th inning. Breaking ball swung on in, a grounded foul over on the 3rd base side. The count is 1-1. 95 pitches is where he was at. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Imamiya. Kind of leaning in, getting his sign from his catcher. And he nods in agreement. Here comes the offering. 1-1 pitch on the way. Breaking ball misses down and away, and the count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and a strike to Imamiya. Kaino coming in a tough situation here. Runner at second. The momentum is slowly shifting to the Hawks. 8-5 lead, 2 gone here in the 8th as the right-hander works set. Kaino checks the runner at second, now delivers. Breaking ball misses down, and the count now goes to 3 balls and a strike. Waiting his turn on deck is Taisi Makihara. That is the tying run. Simply don't want to bring the tying run to the plate here. So here comes the 3-1 pitch. Imamiya should get something to swing at here. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count now goes full to Kenta Imamiya. Again, Kaino ready to go. Boy, he's come in the game and he's really slowed it down. Our friend Gracie Lynn earlier said how she likes the ABS system. This is a pitcher who needs a pitch clock, and now he steps off the back side of the rubber, and we're going to cycle through the signage again. So if you haven't fallen asleep on us here, certainly the pitcher Kaino will help you get to snoozing a lot quicker. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. On its way, breaking ball swung on and chopped down the third base line, but it just goes foul. That's going to keep the count at 3-2 on Imamiya. The pitcher Kaino putting people to sleep since 1996. So 3 balls and 2 strikes it is, as he digs back in, does Imamiya. And the right-hander ready to go again. As he works himself into the set position, here comes the offering. And it's a fastball that misses inside. It's going to be ball 4, and that's going to bring the tying run to the plate. So don't go away quite yet. The Hawks here flapping their wings. Shida Tonosaki in to talk to the young right-hander. There is a major storm brewing here in Fukuoka, and the Hawks are looking to ride this wave. Unreal. So the runner at second base is Shoji. That's the pinch runner. Kenta Imamiya, the runner at first, and it brings Taisi Makihara to the plate. For Makihara, he is 1 for 3 tonight, 11 for 36 on the season. Standing in on the left side here against the right-hander Kaino. Pitch on the way, breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Wonder if Makihara might want that one back. That was middle in, and it was a hanger. Guess we'll just have to ask him after the game if that was not something he was looking for. So no balls and 1 strike. Starter Chihiro Samita did everything he could do to put him in a place where they had a chance. There's a breaking ball missing down, and the count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. If you had just joined us, Hawks have scored 2 in the 8th here, and they're threatening for more. 2 aboard, 2 gone. Makihara at the plate. And on deck it is Kenta Tanegawara. So here comes the 1-1 from Kaino. As he holds set now and delivers. Split finger pitch, swung on and missed, and now Makihara in the hole at 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. And I don't think this game is safe. I think that the Alliance are going to have to come out and try to put another run on the board. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Makihara. There's a saying that the most home runs that are hit are often hit with 2 strikes. Well, we're about to find out if that is the case here. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. On the way, breaking ball. Yeah, he did go. And the home plate umpire went with the right hand and said Makihara went a little too far. He's gone for out number 3, and that's going to do it here for the Hawks in the 8th inning. Well, the Hawks, they get a pair of runs in the inning, 2 runs on the benefit of 3 hits, no errors, and 2 runners left aboard. We're now moving to the top of the 9th inning. It is an 8-5 lead here for the Lions. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a little bit with all the action right after this musical timeout. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 2, 3, and 4 hitters to come to bat. That means Genda, Kishi, and Nakami. As we are going to have another pitching change here for the Hawks. It is going to be number 26. Goda Suzuki is coming in, a side-winding right-hander. So we're getting a look at a bunch of Hawks we haven't seen to this point yet. So Goda Suzuki on in relief, as he will take over for Koya Ogo. So Suzuki just completing his tune-up tosses, and we are ready to resume the action. Genda to come up to bat here. Looks like we have some defensive changes for the Hawks. We'll have to get that for you here in a bit. Looks like Kurihara has moved over to first base. So the right-hander ready to go. Suzuki kicks and delivers. Fastball just misses up and away to Genda, and the count is 1-0. So a ball and no strikes. Top of the 9th inning. Right-hander delivers another fastball that misses upstairs. The count goes to 2-0 on Genda. And we welcome Kenichito 708 to the stream. Konnichiwa to you, or maybe Konbanwa at this point. It's getting into the evening. As that fastball misses up, it's now 3 balls and no strikes to Genda. As the pitch is on the way, there's a fastball taken on the inside corner for called strike. Count is 3-1 to Genda. So 3 balls, 1 strike. Suzuki delivers again. Fastball misses up. It's going to be ball 4. And that is going to put Genda aboard with a leadoff walk, and that'll bring Junichiro Kishi to the plate. Well, if I'm the Lions, I'm thinking about bunting here in this situation. I can't see any reason why not to. You want to try to cash at least 1 more run across. 3 runs is a little too tight with the sticks that they have in the Hawks lineup. So that brings Kishi to the plate, who is got a double in 4 trips. He's also scored a run and driven in a run. As they throw over first and diving back in time is the runner Genda. So Kishi standing in, and here's the pitch. No sign of a bunt as he swings and fouls that one straight back, and the count is 0-1 to Kishi. Our friend Kenichiro says he's from Japan. Welcome. Yeah, we've got a few listeners from Japan. And the question would be is, where are you from? So here comes the 0-1 pitch as the righty delivers. There's a fastball swung on, grounded to third. They go to second for one, back to first. That's going to be a double play, as that's going to race Genda on the front side. He's out for the first out of the inning. It is a 5-4-3 double play, as that is going to put Kishi in the books for the second out. That is going to bring Yuta Nakami to the plate. Really nice job over there to start the double play. As we mentioned, they had made some changes. It was Nomura who had moved over to third. He slinged it to Imamiya at second. As the pitch on the way as a fastball swung through and missed, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Nakami. Nakami tonight officially 1 for 3. He hit a 2-run homer. He struck out twice, and he has walked. Fastball swung on and lifted foul into the seats down the left field line, and the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Again, the right-hander kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now goes to 1-2. So a ball and 2 strikes. Again, the right-hander working himself into the set position, the 1-2 on the way. Fastball swung on and missed, and that is going to do it. Nakami's gone for the third time tonight on the strikes. And an unconventional 1-2-3 here for the Lions. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. We're into the bottom of the ninth inning. Your score is the Lions with a 8-5 lead over the Hawks. Stick around, everybody. We'll see if they can bring it home. Our friend Ken Cheeto says, let's go Hawks. Well, we're about to find out in just a couple of moments if that is about to happen. We'll be back in just a few.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be Hakua Iwaki who is coming on in relief, as he is going to be yet another left-hander to pitch here. That's the third lefty tonight for the Lions against this left-handed laden Fukuoka lineup. It's going to be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters slated to come to bat. That means Tanagawara, Nomura, and the top of the order in Shudo. We'll keep our eyes open for some pinch hitters here at the bottom part of the order. Our friend Kenichiro says Sugiyama. Yep, that is your closer. That is for sure. So here we go back to the live action. Tanagawara digs himself in. As As the lefty kicks and delivers, there's a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Lefty again holding to the set. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. And that's a breaking ball waved out and missed, and the count goes even to 1-1 on Taniguara. Taniguara's first at bat of the evening, as it was the pinch hitter Nakamura who had come in to hit for Imeno. As the lefty delivers, it's a breaking ball swung on. It's chopped over the head of the pitcher. Up the middle, they're going to have to hurry to get him, and it's not going to be in time. The ball gets away from the first baseman, Tonosaki. Nice job by Koga backing up the play. And they are going to give Taniguara a base hit on that, as he was able to leg it out. So he is aboard with a single, and the Never Die Hawks are in a position here where they might be able to cash some runs. It is going to bring Isami Nomura to the plate, and what they need to do, if you are Fukuoka, is turn the batting order over with a couple of ducks on the pond, and it gets dangerous in a big-time hurry. So another questionable call. I've got to say that whether they do it or not, it is going to be Nomura up to the plate, as he is batting from the right side here. He is 5 for 21 on the year, 1 for 3 in the affair tonight. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on and missed. The count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Again, leaning in and getting the sign and nodding an agreement with his catcher, Koga. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Kicks and fires. Breaking ball swung on and fouled straight back. Oh, he was right on it. No balls and 2 strikes to Nomura. So no balls and 2 strikes as the lefty holds to the set. Here comes the 0-2 pitch as he kicks and fires. Fastball swung on, hit into deep right field. This ball could be trouble. On the warning track and making the catch is Hasegawa. His back was almost to the wall, and Nomura sent it the other way, a long way, but he is going to be gone for the first out of the inning, and that is going to bring up the top of the order in Yukio Shudo. Unbelievable. Did not stay in the yard by much. So is it going to bring Shudo to the plate? No, it's not. We're actually going to have a pinch hitter. It is going to be Tetsuro Yanagamachi. Interesting here. So Yanagamachi into pinch hit, hitting .265 on the year. Did not get the start today, obviously, and they throw over to first and diving back as the runner. Hawks need 1 more base runner to make it really interesting. As the lefty works to the set position, here comes the offering. Fastball swung through and missed. Count is quickly 0-1 to Yanagamachi. And if everybody has stumbled back in here, we got ourselves a potential for a fantastic finish. Hawks trailing by 3 with a runner aboard and 1 gone here in the 9th. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on and fouled away. And now the count is 0-2 to Yanagamachi. And it isn't going to get easy in the batting order here. As to follow will be Kondo and Kurihara. But they need to get another runner aboard. So no balls and 2 strikes as the lefty holds set. And here's the pitch. Fastball misses upstairs. Good pitch to change the eye level of the hitter. Runs the count to 1-2. So Iwaki trying to close this one out. So again, leaning in is the lefty. Here comes the offering, the 1-2 pitch on the way. Iwaki delivers. It's a breaking ball. Oh, that pitch just misses down. It's now 2-2. I'll tell you, if this game was in Tokorozawa, that pitch has got to be a strike. That was a heck of a pitch. But the home plate umpire not buying what the Lions are selling. So here comes the 2-2 pitch. As Yuta Koga flashing the signs to his pitcher here. And the pitch is on the way. It's a fastball that misses outside. The count now goes full to Yanagamachi. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Waiting on deck is Kensuke Kondo. This is definitely a nail-biting time here for the Lions and their fans. As Kondo steps into that on-deck circle with a heck of a presence moving over the ball game. Here comes the 3-2 to Yanagamachi. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on, lifted into deep left center field. This ball's going to get trouble. It's going to get down, and it's going to get all the way to the wall. Picking it up is Kishi, and that's going to score the runner all the way from first. So it's going to be an RBI double off the bat of Yanagamachi. That brings home the Tanagawara all the way from first. We now have ourselves an 8-6 ball game, and it's going to move the tying run into the batter's box in the form of Kensuke Kondo. Oh boy, the Lions here have had their opportunity to choke off the Hawks, and they just can't close it off. Good piece of hitting there by Yanagamachi going the other way. Tanagawara digging hard, scored all the way from first easily. And now brings the tying run to the plate in Kensuke Kondo. So how would you like this? How about some bonus baseball? Can you imagine that? Friend Gracie Lynn said the game really slowed down. Well, it could slow down even further if we go to extra innings. So Kondo to the plate. He is 1 for 3 tonight. He's got a home run in 3 trips. He is also walked. Yanagamachi in some ways doesn't really mean a whole lot at second base. It's the guy at the plate who now means everything. As Kondo waits on the first pitch here from the lefty, it is Iwaki who delivers a fastball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0. On deck is Ryoya Kurihara and then Yuki Yanagita. So pick your poison. So 1 ball and no strikes as the lefty again, Iwaki, leans in. And here comes the pitch. Fastball taken for a called strike, and the count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is. Runner at second, Yanagamachi. 8-6 the lead here. Kensuke Kondo at the plate with a 1-1 count. Iwaki nods in agreement with his catcher. And now he works himself back into the set position. Here comes the 1-1. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep left field. Has this ball got enough guts in it? No. Onto the warning track and making the catch is Kuwahara. And that is going to retire Kondo. He gave it a ride. He just didn't get enough of it. Just got a little bit underneath. He's gone for the second out of the inning. That is going to bring up the third baseman in Ryoya Kurihara. So 8-6 the scoreline here in the bottom half of inning number 9. And the Hawks are still threatening for more. 2 in the books right now. They're down to their final out. Kurihara today, well, he has a single in 4 trips. He's also struck out twice and flown out. Batting from the left side here against the left-handed throwing Iwaki. as the lefty checks the runner at second, now delivers. Fastball swung on, belted into deep center field, but not deep enough. Underneath it is Kishi. He's there to make the catch, and that is going to do it, as the Lions are going to come away with an 8-6 victory here tonight. Well, the Hawks, they got a run in the ninth inning, one run on the benefit of 2 hits. There was no errors, and there was 1 runner left aboard. Your final score is the Lions 8 and the Hawks 6. Stick around, everybody. I'll come back and wrap it up for you in just a couple of moments. Appreciate you for being here on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel, despite us being under the weather. We'll be right back.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. Your final is 8-6 for the Lions. Well, we'll give you a quick rundown and we'll wrap it up for the night. The scoring got going in the top of the second inning. It was the Lions after Shuta Tonosaki reached on an error. It was an RBI single off the bat of Yuta Koga that opened up the scoring for the Lions, 1-0. Hawks responded 2 pitches later as Otaki Yamakawa deposited a solo shot into the seats for the Hawks and even the score at 1. Hawks added to their lead in the third inning. A 1-out 2-run homer off the bat of Kensuke Kondo made the scoreline 3-1. But the Lions tied it back up in the fourth inning. It was a 2-run shot off the bat of Shuta Tonosaki that evened the scoreline at 3. Well, the Lions added 3 in the fifth inning. That made the scoreline 6-3. And then they scored 2 in the eighth to make it 8-3. And that looked like it was going to help them cruise to victory. Nope, the Hawks got 2 in the eighth to make it 8-5, and they scored 1 more in the ninth. And were threatening for more. And your final score is 8-6 for the Lions over the Hawks. Well, everybody, appreciate you guys for hanging in with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Check our schedule. We'll be up again tomorrow, but we'll also be looking at the Blue Jays and the Dodgers, especially that game on Wednesday between Shohei Ohtani and, well, against the Blue Jays. Who cares who the Blue Jays are pitching? I just want to watch Ohtani pitch. That really is what matters. All right, everybody, have a great night. Try to get some rest. Gracie Lynn, appreciate you for being here. Everybody else who jumped in here tonight, we thank you kindly as well. Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you again later tomorrow.